All right, howdy folks, howdy neighbors, howdy friends. Welcome back to the old times Monroe Style Jam Workshop number 4, numero quattro. And we're looking at Long Black Veil. I had a conversation with David McLaughlin, cousin David, about this earlier today. And I was asking him if he felt like there was a standard key for Long Black Veil. And he said in capital letters, there's no standard key for Long Black Veil. I believe Monroe recorded it in D, and some other various versions from Dudley and James King I found were in B. So I contemplated this for a little bit today, and I decided that take a little bit different approach to our melody study of this one. Before we've been doing real simple, eighth note versions, beginner style, but today we're going to kind of just really concentrate on learning the shape of the melody, take it from G to A, and then into a closed position, either B flat or B. Okay, so people interpret this melody different ways, and I can't even remember the words of how it go in the chorus, the verse part. The chorus part's a little bit more easy, but something like this. 10 years ago, on a cold dark night, someone was killed neath the town hall lights. There were few at the scene, but they all agreed that the slayer who run looked a lot like me. Okay, so chords is pretty easy. G, 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 G. It goes to D, 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 and then C back to G. That's halfway through. G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, G, 2, 3, and then she walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. Okay, so what we're playing is the verse. G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4. 2 bars of G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 bar of D. And then 2 beats of C. 1, 2, and then it has a full bar of G. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a little bit irregular. It kind of unsquares it a little bit. Okay, so you can think about that however you want to, but just follow your ear. Make sure you hit them 2 beats of C after the full bar of D before the full bar of G. All right, and then it repeats that. Do 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 do. D D D D D D C C G 2 3 4. Then it goes to chorus. We're not gonna worry about the chorus. We're not playing the chorus here today. It's good to know it. Good to be able to play it, but we're looking at the verse here today. All right. So, most important thing is to get to where you can hum this melody. All right. D, D, D. And I'm just saying D because that's our little onomatopoeia vowel. I guess it's not onomatopoeia if it's not representative of a sound of nature. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. We're just lilting. D, 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 D. Little tag there. Pick up notes. But they all agreed that the slayer ran looked a lot like me. Okay, so where we can get some good Monroe styles in there is on the ends of it. Okay, and a little tag. So you can play a nice little tremolo. It's real nice and advanced there, but I'm just trying to get that melody in your head. All right, so let's talk about the melody, and then we'll kind of talk about how we want to approach this in the key of G, then go to A, and then go to the key of B flat or B. Okay? So the downbeat of the melody, 10 years ago, is the 5th fret of the D. And what I want to encourage you to do is to phrase this your own way based on the proper melody notes, or as close as we can kind of get in the traditional folky way. All right, so I might sing that first line like this. 10 years ago. Now doing those glissandos, go, on the mandolin is not something that's real easy for the beginner. You know, but that's kind of what I'm doing with my vocal. Go, 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 go. So I'm sliding from the 5 to the 2 to the open as I'm keeping my tremolo going. But you don't have to do that. You can do simple. All right. So right there, you got some pickup notes. Do, 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 do. And you can kind of phrase that how you want to, how you feel in it. I want to leave this open to your creative interpretation. 1, 2, 3. However you get to that downbeat, the 1, 1 and 2 and 3, and a 4 E and a 1. You can just go 1, 2 and 3, and 4 and 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and. So those are our first 2 bars. All right. So we're hanging on the 1 note. That's the first note in the scale, the G note. Coming down to the open D through the 2nd fret. Then back to the 5th fret. I was going through the 2nd fret. All right. You could play it more simply if you wanted to. But you could also add your 16th notes. Those are our first 2 bars. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now what I like to do is slide from 1 to 2 on the A string. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So that's 10 years ago on a cold dark night. Okay, and I like to kind of hit that 2nd fret of the A, coming back into coming into the D chord for the first time. Cold dark night. Now your open A down the 5th fret of the D. Cold dark night. And then the lyrics go, someone was killed. That's a little bit tricky to phrase on the mandolin, you know, if you're not used to it. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4. You can interpret it your own way. You can play it more simple. Do, 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 do. Or with your 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. All right. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and. That's a little tricky part there because I got those 2 beats of C. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E. Or you can go back to 1 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a. And so in a cold dark night, someone was killed. Meet the town hall lights. Or town hall. It's really nice to get that town hall lights. I really feel like that's a quintessential part of the folk melody. So you might come with this 2-finger C, 2nd fret of the D, 3rd fret of the A, up to your 51 double stop in C, 5th fret of the D, 3rd fret of the A. Why is it 51? Because you're in the key of C. And if you walk up your scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's your 5 note. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is the same as a 1. Those are both C notes. Okay, that's where it starts over. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The do and the do are the same. So that's the 1 note and the 8 note. They're both 1s and 8s and 1s and 8s. So you got 5 and 1. So you go do, 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 do. All right. Town hall lights. They were. So that's halfway through. Okay, so let's kind of play what we got here so far. Just kind of do it your own way, and we'll play together here. 1, 2, 3. Do, 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 do. Years ago on a cold dark night, someone was killed. Meet the town hall lights. They were few at the scene, but they all agreed like the man who looked a lot like me. So that's the whole thing. All right, so most important thing is get that melody in your head. All right, do 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 ba do do ba do 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 do. The more you're getting adept with doing that with all the simple melodies, the better. The more easily you'll be able to field melodies in the future. And one of the ultimate goals of all this ear training is for someone to be able to play you a song that you don't know, and for you to be able to pick it up on the fly, and then also for you to be able to channel your own melodies. So when you hear something in your head, you can figure it out on the mandolin. All right, it can take a lot of work if your ear is not naturally responding in a precise way to the identification of the pitch. Let's start with the simple stuff. Mary had a little lamb, twinkle, twinkle, little star. London Bridge is falling down. When the saints go marching in, I saw the light, working in like that. And you get to the long black veil, and then you can work on that too. You got some little double stops, 5 and 2 on the D and A. This is a little hard turn here. That's tough. That's one of the main challenges of intermediate mandolin. Okay, getting to where you can thread the melody through the different positions of the double stops and hit your transitions, cleanly, adeptly, confidently, consistently. So we started down here. Nice little double stop on 5 and 2 on the D and the A. 10. A lot of times you want to have your harmony note on the top. All right, so our melody note is the 5th fret of the D. 10 years ago. All right, so you have your harmony, which is the major 3rd, 2nd fret of the A. 10 years ago. You could just do it that simply if you wanted to. 10 years ago. A lot of times I'm used to hearing it kind of fade down with the melody note. 10 years ago. We already talked about that. Oh no. So one of the best moves in G, double stop wise, is to be able to slide up from the 1 and the 3. That's interval wise. 5 and 2 fret wise, up to your 35 here. All right. 9th fret of the D, 5th fret of the A. All right, that's a good move. It's one of the sweetest sounds on the mandolin. And years ago, on a cold, dark night, you can start with 8th notes if you want to. So going from your G chord, double stops, into your D, 51, 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the A. It's pretty easy. Have little pickup notes. Those aren't sung with a vocal melody, but that's the mandolin language. That's the hard part right there. In cold dark night, someone was killed. You could simplify it. Someone was killed 'neath the town hall lights. That's a cool move there. Get into a different way. So this is a 31 in C. You're always using the chord you're in for the reference to the number of the interval. All right, so 2nd fret of the D, 3rd fret of the A. If it's going back too fast, stop the video, rewind it, and listen to it, work it out. So you go from 31 to 51. 1, 2, 3, that's your 3 note there, 2nd fret of the D, up to the 5th fret of the D, that's your 5 note, and your 1's the same. And sometimes, you'll just kind of make those jumps intuitively, instinctively. So I was putting like an 8th note in there before it's sliding up into the double stop. It's the low 51, 7 and 5 on the G and the D. You could use the upstroke there. This is 32nd note tremolo we're working with here. Okay, so the beat is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and those are your 8th notes. The numbers are the quarter notes. The ands are the 8th notes in between the quarter notes. All right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if you add your upstroke, 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. If you play play all those 16th notes with downstrokes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Then add your upstrokes, you'll have a nice 30-second note tremolo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I was counting the 8th notes along with the 30-second notes. It's a nice tremolo texture for this kind of tune. Pickup notes to set up the D chord there. 7 on the G, 9 up to the D string 5th fret of the D, then up to the 9th fret of the D with your ring finger. Da, 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 da. Then right into your 51 double stop, 7 and 5 with your middle and first finger. That'd be a tricky move to get. Da, bum, 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 da. Sliding into that, so you're hitting your 31 double stop there, 2 and 3 on the D and A respectively, and then sliding into your 7 and 5 here. It's a little bit advanced, but this is, you know, good intermediate style, upper intermediate perhaps style mandolin here. You can have fun with your pickup notes. You know, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. Trying to aim for that target note of the downbeat, which is the 5th fret of the D. You can get back close to the bridge if you want some Monroe style bite and projection. That's kind of a cool move there. 0, 2, 5, open before you make your slide. That's just kind of one of those places where it works out nicely. The melody line. Da, 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 da. Bluesy with it, go there. You know. 2, 5, open A, back to the 5th fret of the D, and then 1st fret of the A for the bluesy note, open A, and then 5, 2, 5 on the D. Da, 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 da. Grab that octave there for the 2 G's, G and G. Da, 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 da. It's not sung like that, but that's good mandolin language. Classic Monroe stuff there, hammering onto the 3rd fret from the 2nd fret, then a hammer-on pull-off from 2 to 3, back to 2, open D, and open G. Boom, 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 boom. Bobo likes it, maybe. You can also drone that, like that sound. All right, so we spent about 20 minutes talking about this G stuff. Years ago. Nice 6-string, you know, tremolo there. You could even get all 8. Slide into your 2-finger G chord there, 2 and 3 on the A and E. So hopefully by now you've just got the melody in your head. Goes down on that, you know, first half ending. This is the second half. That's the big difference in the melody. The first half ends on the open D, you know, which is the 5th interval in G. And then the end of the song ends on the 1, which is the G note. So halfway through, you're really wanting to bring that open D note out there. Okay, Kaya Kitty's getting all caught up here. I gotta help her out a little bit. Kaya Kitty. she get a little bit twisted up on the leash. We have to have her on the leash because we want to be able to keep track of her when she goes jungle kittying, getting over the fence and all that. Keep an eye on her. We don't want to lose our little baby. No way. Okay. All right. So, and then you can go through the same process with the chorus. She walks these hills in a long black veil, visits my grave when the night winds wail. You double stop here. Nobody knows. We're up here. Nobody knows. Nobody sees. Nobody knows but me. Get your nice Monroe tag on the end there, so they can know you mean business in a good way. All right. So now let's take it all up to A. All right. So it's like, how do we do that? How is that even possible? Well, two ways. You can just kind of like, some people that have the good ear will be able to play your A chord. This is just a little two-finger drony A chord. It might not even qualify as a real chord because it only has two notes. Mashing down the G string, 2nd fret, D string, 2nd fret, open A, open E, so that one finger is getting 4 strings there. You can do your bar A, you can do your chop A. But just to kind of get to hear the 10 years ago, some of y'all might be able to do that. That might be foreign for a lot of y'all also. That's okay. So the way that we can translate from G to A, technically, mathematically, conceptually in your mind, is whatever note we're starting in G, we just push that up 2 half steps. All right, so if our first note in G was 5th fret of the D, 10 years ago, we're gonna push that up 2 half steps. It's really easy. 10 years ago. So every note that you played in G, in A, is just gonna be 2 half steps higher. So for G, 10 years ago, we ended up on that open D for that first line. All right, first little phrase. So now we're going to end up not on this open D, but 2 half steps up on the 2nd fret of the D. All right, so 10 years ago. A is nice because you got all this drony stuff. All right, so you can slide down from the 7th fret of the D in unison with the open A, or maybe even the open E too. Years ago. A lot more harmony more easily in A because you can have that open E ringing. On a cold dark night. Just get your pickup notes. 2nd fret, 4th fret of the D, open A, da da da, and then your downbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. This is if this isn't comfortable, then in a way, you really want to lean into it to get to where you can pick your melodies out in the key of A fairly easily. Some of y'all that the ear stuff doesn't come as quick, all the more reason to not use the tabs at all and just work on your ear training. Mary Had a Little Lamb, all that. If you can't do that easily coming around the mountain G and A and then into a closed position, and that's really going to hold you back a lot. I'm telling you from my heart because I really believe that. Okay, so if you can pick this out, 10 years, you can also start on the open A. 10 years ago, on a cold dark night, pick up notes, da 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 da, someone was killed, 2242642. All right, someone was killed. That might be a little bit too complicated. You can just go do do bo bo. You can do that kind of, shuffly 6, 1 the end, 2 the end, 3, and add your 6 upstrokes for your 32nd note tremolo. For G, we can do that same bluesy lick, slide into the 4th fret of the D, open A, 2nd fret, open A, then 3, 2, open, 4th fret of the D, and then open A. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Need me to go get her?
I got her.
She hopped over the fence into the front yard. You can slide into that 13 double stop, 7th fret of the D, 4th fret of the A. All right. Okay, so what are we doing now? This is kind of a hybrid position concept we're working with here. So we're starting out kind of low with the pickup notes, coming into the bottom of the chord, 7 and 4 on the D and the A string. And years ago, on up, and then sliding into your high 35 position, 11th fret of the D, 7th fret of the A. That's the same stuff as we were doing in G. Just 2 frets up. This is why it's great to be able to play out of the positions, because you don't have to worry about the names of the notes. So where's all that music coming from? I just hear it in my head. From thousands of hours of listening to bluegrass, you know, in the field, in the jam session, on stage, in the recording studio, in, you know, on record. So you have to have that music flowing through you. You have to have it, the language, the words, the vocabulary in your mind so it can flow through you. All right, so that's where it's really coming from. That's advanced stuff, but we're just trying to kind of aim for, you know, beginner and intermediate here. All right, so hopefully, you know, we're going kind of quick through A, but hopefully we got a little handle on it. Boom, 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 boom. You can always use your double stop here too. 10 years ago, on a cold, dark night, there was someone killed 'neath the town hall lights. They were few at the scene, but they all agreed that the man who ran looked a lot like me. Of course, I was singing the blues stuff. They don't sing that, you know. Maybe some do. That's a little mandolin language there. All right, just get that melody. 10 years ago, on a cold, dark night, someone was killed 'neath the town hall light. There were few at the scene, but they all agreed that the man who ran looked a lot like me. Find it your way. You know, you can play it simple, it's fine. You know. That was a little bit simple, a little bit hard. We want to get to B flat, all right? So, taking things up to B flat, same kind of idea. So, you know, if our first note in A was the open A, or the 7th fret of the D, same note. Now, our first downbeat note in B flat is going to be 1 step higher than that, or 1/2 step higher, 1 fret higher. So you can strum your B flat chord. Some of y'all might just be able to hear that, how it changes the key. 10 years ago, on a cold, dark night, someone was killed 'neath the town hall lights. Just picking that out. 10 years ago, on a cold, dark night, someone was killed 'neath the town hall light. All right, so for those of you who are new to this idea about playing out of B flat, I would encourage y'all to understand or to consider that the jump off point is this 5 and a 1 down here, 3rd fret of the D, 1st fret of the A. Dum, bum, 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 3, 5, open, 1st fret. All right. 10 years ago on a cold, dark night, someone was killed beneath the town hall light. Just play it real simple to get to know the key. It's also helpful to understand that the octave between the two B flat notes, 1st fret of the A and 6th fret of the E, is right there, so you can have your scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, da, 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 da. 1, 3, 5, 6, and 1, 3, 5, 6. So all that hummy stuff is right there in your octave. Okay, these 2 notes on the bottom. That's your 6th note there, 5th fret of the D, and then the 5 note, 3rd fret of the D, your low 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's good to know your B flat scale. But the thing we want to concentrate on is playing out of this position. Each key's got its own little flavor, you know. But the cool thing about is learning to play out of the closed position here, like that. It's the same thing as going like this. My hair is decomposing. All that's going to be the same. So this is your closed position. A lot of times I call this 35. That's your sweetest double stop there. All right. So all that applies to B flat. Gotten to play it out of the chord, you know, it's good to play it out of the chord. So even like the mistakes that you make playing out of the chord like that, like I was just doing a little bit of, can sometimes be flattering for the tune, the vibe. You'll find some creative things there. Sometimes what you didn't mean to do will be some of your favorite stuff. It'll be a little bit less pedestrian, a little bit less predictable, because not even you knew it was going to happen, just the goddess. All right. So hopefully by now we're really getting this tune in our head, the Long Black Veil. All right. It's all about channeling that hummy thing through the different keys. Once you get it in B flat, it's easy to bring it up to B because it's just 1 fret higher. All that stuff is kind of a little bit hard to do, but the most of it, the 90% of it, is pretty easy to do once you get a feel for the position. Just pick it out simple. 10 years ago on a cold, dark night, someone was killed neath the town hall light. There was few at the scene, but they all agree that the man who ran little runs down at the end can be challenging but fun. 2, 6, 4, 2, 1. That's kind of hard. Gotta make that transition with your first finger. And the ring finger on the 6th fret down to the 4th fret. It's kind of tough. You need to finger different ways. Need a little finger down there. Little fingers in the ball game. All right. So that's a little rundown on the melody for Long Black Veil. We've been at it for 35 minutes now. I hope you're enjoying it even half as much as I am. Well, yeah, at least half as much. And so this is a big exercise that you can do with all your tunes. And the important thing for this exercise is that it's going to be something that you're going to need to be able to do in jam sessions. Maybe someone wants to play it in G sharp. Maybe someone wants to play it in D. So the closed positions will get you a long way. So if you get used to that 51 jump off, you're always rooting with your first finger on whatever note is the key that you're playing in. Okay, so if you're in the key of D, you're gonna root with your first finger. Find your 5 down there. It's always one fret in between. Runs are the same. It's all the same. It's the same position. You don't have to think about names, notes, or really anything, besides just how that feels in your hand and the pattern itself, playing out of that octave down to that 51 double stop. And that weed blower there might mean it's the end of this episode here. So, and then once again, pick it out low. So, when you're playing an A, if you just move that down one set of strings, you'll be in D. All right, weed whacker's getting loud, hair has decomposed. So we're gonna sign off for now, and we'll see you on the next one, neighbors. Lots of love from Sunny, Charlie.